And we're live.
All right, I'll just start. We're at the Village of Minerva Park Council work session as a whole. It is committee, sorry.
Not a work session.
It's not a work session, it's a committee as a whole. And it is 6:34 PM and it's August 22nd.
Thank you.
Okay, that was everything I had to remember today. Do you guys want to start just with the legislation and run through those really fast, or do you guys just want to start with streets and then service and then recreation? If we have time, we go through legislation? Where do you guys want to start?
I think we'll have plenty of
How
time.
about attendance?
Or we can start with attendance. Go down the line.
Council President Cameron.
Tommy Grant.
Stacy Cost.
Tiffany Southern.
Heather Cashin.
Dave McNamara.
All right. Okay, we did that now.
We can do streets.
All right, well, let's do that. Let's start with streets.
Slated to complete Maplewood. Gotten some complaints about curbs and things from some residents. So basically we kind of talked about the fact that those curbs would be addressed at the time that that part of the street is going to be completed. We can't just drop a project in one place and address the curb. But that being said, we will address the curb as that part of the street is being fixed.
That's not the first time I've addressed that with that person in
Yeah.
other parts of the village.
Yeah, we're just, we're doing our best, but we don't have the funds to do everything at once. So please be patient with us. We're doing our best. I think the Jordan Road project is officially completed.
I forwarded him an email from somebody that wasn't thrilled with with their backyard still. So other than that, I'm not 100% for sure.
I don't think I was in the loop on that one, so sorry about that.
No, I just forwarded it to Mike and I followed up with her just to ask her if anything had changed, and she thought that there was somebody out there. So I've not followed up with her in the last 2 or 3 days. So
Do I know who it is?
it's all the way at the end. No, it's
No.
not. Yeah, no, it's somebody that
Okay.
that one of the first houses. So we just need to make sure that her yard got the attention that everybody else just did. So, because I haven't been back there. I think mine's fine, but mine really wasn't. There was a couple ruts, but it wasn't horrible, and it's better now. So we'll have to make sure that theirs is. Do we have anything else for streets?
I don't have anything unless somebody wants to bring something up.
Okay, so
Did we talk about Maplewood? Is that?
yeah, that's what she was just talking about.
Yeah.
It should be finishing up here
Soon.
very shortly.
Yep.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay, so
Have we actually seen any of the, I'm sorry, when
No.
I say we, I mean
Yes.
council, the plans for Minerva Lake Road?
okay, great question. We actually just talked about that within the last day or two because we were looking for diagrams for something and we could not find them. So we have talked about it. They exist because Ben has them because that's how he's doing the grant work. But I don't know if we physically have them or if they've kind of just all gone directly to them. So great question. I'm going to see if we can find anything and what we actually have for it. I don't know that we don't because I know I've been in Zoom calls and I've seen different things, but that's not our public record. Like we don't have any of that stuff. So I don't know what all we have.
I think we had a giant packet a long time ago and it had all of the
And that's what I
stuff
feel
in
like. It's been a while. If so, it's been,
Yeah,
yes,
it's been a
I've
while.
not seen anything in a while.
Talking
Do you mean like the
about it,
September, like last September?
but I don't know that I've
been a
seen
long
any
time.
plans on it.
If we get done here in time, I'm gonna run to because I can't do it from my phone, so I'm gonna run to mine and see, because we actually just talked about it, because I wanted to see if we could upload it to the website. Like we've done on some of the other things, we had somebody asking about, sidewalks and this
Hey,
and that.
JB,
What's-
Chipper, we're having a meeting.
So we're trying to see if we can get some of that kind of stuff. We were trying to find it. So, and we couldn't find it on the stuff that we were looking for. So if we don't, I will get it because it exists the grant
I
writer
remember
has it.
seeing
That's
it.
what that whole meeting was about, was that grant.
Or does it come for council for approval?
So you guys already did everything for the grant to go through, and then it's
Right,
gonna,
but we
once
don't
we get the
approve the
funds.
plans?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't know that everything has been finalized because we don't have a grant. We don't have any of that stuff. So maybe that's why we haven't seen a ton of stuff. Right now, we're just trying to get money for a project.
Okay.
So, good question. Great question, because,
Because at some point it has to go out for bid, so we'll
Correct.
have to have plans at that.
correct. The project can't even start until after July 1st. So
Right.
there's gonna be a whole process, and it may depend, the other part is, and again, I'm making all of this up as I go, but I've been through this process about 15 times. It may be, depending on the amount of funds we get, will determine the project.
Right.
So that may be why we don't have a lot of specifics yet. So I'm guessing we're probably going for all of it. Again, I know how much money this project's gonna cost. I know all of that. I know how much money we're going for, so there has to be more documentation than that we all have access to.
Okay.
So, but it's something that obviously we can get.
I've heard about the pieces, but I'm not sure that I've actually physically seen them.
Yes. I'm gonna see if I have it. If not, I will just request it from Mike and we will be able to. But yes, I mean, right now, we're just trying to get the funds, but he obviously had paperwork to get to the funds in order to apply for the funds. Okay, so I'll just go over a couple things and then Barb, my head has been spinning for days, so we're gonna start with, there's been a water line break for the 4th time over off of Kerwood. They came out, it's been an emergency, they have since, I believe, fixed her problem. However, the guy from Columbus says that he believes all of those lines are old. They are not as old as what he implied that they were, because again, we are just now paying off the 20-year loan on it. For some reason, he's seen, somewhere I got that they were like 60 years old or they were done in this, I don't know. But anyways, I have Mike looking into some information on that because we may have to redo that whole court. They believe that there is something wrong with those pipes. Hers is broken 4 times, there's obviously a problem. So now she's getting water into her basement because the line is it's saturating her entire yard. So they are working on it. Again, we get 1 free, it's either 1 free or 2 free. We went back and forth between myself, Leah, and Jeff, whether or not. But if this continually happens, then obviously this is costing the village, so we need to get to the root of the problem. So we did not know it was this bad, so we are currently working on next steps for that, so plan on hearing some more stuff. We don't want to just drop it because it was fixed. It's fixed for now. So I guess I'm gonna say it that way. I mean, for
Doesn't
her.
seem like it's a forever solution,
Yeah,
right?
I don't feel like it is because this is something that continually happens. And then we'll go back to streets once I think of the other things that I feel like there's more, but I had a really long meeting with Mike and them the other day. I cannot remember half of what was even in there, so I don't know. So we'll be done with streets for a minute, but that was the big one. That was one of the big ones. And we do have a lot of money in our water line fund. So this is one of those that I can honestly say that is not freaking me out because we do have money in the water line fund. Quite a bit.
Thanks, Rita.
Yeah, that one's,
I had since we're talking about water lines, I had a resident from the MI section ask about all of those water lines that are sticking above the grass line and the tree line. Now, when I built mine was like that, and I said to the contractor, can you fix that? And he said yes. I'm sure most people are asked, a lot of them are sticking out. Is that something we can get fixed? Obviously, MI would have done it if people had asked them, but
Is it broken?
it's not broken, but they're just sticking
Sticking
really
out.
far
I mean,
out.
is it- I would think it'd be a personal preference, not necessarily a cause for concern for the community.
Yeah.
or-
The concern I've heard is children hitting them and tripping, and then your lawn mowers and things like that.
Sure.
yeah, I will tell you, mine doesn't have a lid on it and I have to replace the lid because I run it over with the lawnmower.
Cause it's
More
just,
than once.
it's just the conduit that goes down
Yeah.
to the shut on, shut off thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, somebody cut mine down.
Yeah.
Who was it? So weird.
No,
Well, it was when before we moved it, cause it was sticking out for sure. and
yeah,
it's
I
like,
asked to have one done, and they did it, but,
just add more dirt.
oh, it was not, yeah.
It was way high.
Yeah, yeah, that would be a ramp, that would be inviting kids to jump off of it. Okay,
So the water line from each property.
it's not in each property, they're scattered throughout. So it's like a clean out valve or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not, like I said, it's not, I don't know, there might be,
Well, it's
there
in,
might be 20 of them.
it's in the right of way,
Yeah, it's in the right of way.
but it's still, I imagine, would be their responsibility to maintain and deal with.
I mean,
I think.
technically, I mean, it's the village's property where it is, so. I don't know.
And we've had
I mean-
more, B things, just so you guys know.
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
we just did another one. I think we're up to how many?
6.
Yeah, so we've had to remove 6 of them.
Mhm.
And then the mosquito spraying is tonight.
Right.
This is the second.
Yeah, it seems more frequent this year than it has been the last one.
Yeah, it started, I feel like it started later. So this is, I mean, we just did it, what, a week or two ago?
A week ago.
So we already did another one.
And this is still the group that only does it on like findings of like West
Yes,
Island.
only if in the traps. We have traps set up throughout the village. When they test it, if they find it, then they spray. It's the only time we spray.
I remember when we got that set up, so.
Yes,
Yeah, we're still doing it.
yes. Okay. I don't have an answer for you, Jason.
Okay.
That's between you guys. You guys are all in the new section, not me. But I do know what you're talking
You
about.
don't represent us as well?
I have my own problems. No, I think it's something that if we knew how many or what it would actually entail to do it, I'm sure it was much easier before.
let's ask an engineer first before we cut down a bunch of stuff, because we don't like the way it looks, so.
I don't think it's an engineering thing.
Well, we don't know that.
No, I'm pretty sure it's not an engineering thing.
Can you just hit it with a
Well,
hammer
that's the
and knock
thing,
it in?
no, but that's the thing, is like, if you knock all of them down, it's really hard to find, so you can't just cut it down.
No,
You have to
but-
mark it with something,
No,
so.
we're literally just making them flush with the grass.
Ground.
Right, but if it's something grows over it, and you need to access that, you can't find it.
Grass.
Over the grass.
It's metal.
So how are you
Yeah,
gonna find it?
Nothing's growing over it. It's
For now. Do you see what I'm
ever.
saying?
Nothing can grow on it, it's metal.
I have stuff growing over my sprinkler system and it is plastic and grass finds a
Okay,
way.
whatever.
So like, but that's the whole thing, is like,
Whatever, if you wanna spend money for that, that's fine.
on what?
On having the engineer look at it.
Well, I think, if I don't
I
know
think
if there's
someone
been
that's
served,
fine with sewers and pipes can easily just look at it. A plumber of some kind, someone that does fire hydrants, that type of thing.
do you have anybody?
The village does, we have our fire hydrants
Yeah,
work done on them.
yeah, we have the people that do.
I just don't wanna spend money on something that's
I
cosmetic.
think we could probably reach out to, what is that guy's name?
TJ.
Yes, TJ Excavating. That's who, turns on and off the water for the pool and does our fire hydrant stuff, and they actually bought the sewer thing. Yeah, they do all that. Okay, so I don't have anything else for streets. Do you have anything else for streets? No?
I got nothing.
Okay, let's go to Councilperson Martin. Do we have anything for services?
Not really, but, our trap services aren't picking up our leads on my street. Like,
Huh?
branches and stuff like that.
Is it marked yard waste?
Yeah, and I've called numerous times, and they keep sending somebody out.
Call them and say, do you know who I am? I actually had to do that once.
I did.
And now they bring my trash can up to my house.
I did
I'm just
more.
kidding. They only did that once. Yes, I mean, I would call and just say, you know, or just give us the info and we'll call. So I have no problem calling. They're super nice, so,
They were really nice to me.
well, that doesn't do you good, how nice they are if they don't do it. So, yeah, if you, I mean, they've been pretty good coming back out when I've called.
Yeah, like, a couple months ago, it took 2 calls to get them to come out, and it took me 2 weeks on top of that.
Yeah, because they take every week, yeah.
So, for some reason, they're not been coming down Valley Road, and the trash cans are clearly marked yellow.
Oh,
It
yeah.
says yard waste, and there's brush hanging out of the trash cans.
Okay.
They're not in the street, so which is weird for them not to come down the street.
Right.
In front of my house, as well as God's house across the street.
Okay.
We've gotten a couple calls off and on over the last probably 3-4 weeks that miscellaneous little things have not been picked up. And either the people have reached out or I've reached out, and they always come back.
Yeah. I've probably had to do it 3 times in the last 3 years.
Does local waste do that stuff as well?
It is
Like, the branches and the landscaping stuff?
Yes,
Like
like
the-
the
yeah.
yard waste.
Do they take it? Or do they do it?
Yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
a yard
Just
waste.
have to do it in a yard waste
Yeah.
label.
Just has to
Tie
be
up the
clearly marked.
branches like they tell you to, they tell you to put them in a thing and whatever, yeah.
Yep.
I've battled that too for my neighbors. I fought that battle 2 years ago. I called.
What happened?
They neglected to do it the first time, and then the second time they did it, but it was hilarious because the bags were soaking wet, and all the stuff
Everything
fell
was
out of the bottoms, and then they got a guy out there with a shovel shoveling it in. I'm like, it stinks because it's somebody else's problem to fix, but you know, because somebody didn't do their job for 2 weeks in a row.
I think you can stick them in like regular trash cans and just stick a label on it, so,
Sure.
I've
Two.
seen people do that, yes.
yeah. And that way, maybe it's
Well, if they just picked it up when they did it the first time,
plot
Right.
twist, what if it rains the same day?
Exactly.
you're dealing with some garbage. You're used to
They're
it.
such nice
Awesome.
people.
All right, we're gonna turn it over to you for recreation and parks.
I don't have anything.
Nothing.
Nope.
Pool's coming to an end and I'm pretty sad about it.
Yeah.
But I will tell you today was gorgeous,
Well,
for the record.
I would like wanted to wear a sweater all day.
John is trying to arrange a meeting to look at the crack in the bottom.
Yes,
But,
saw that.
other than that,
Do we have anybody to look at that?
Patterson is,
Okay.
or no, I'm
Rick
sorry,
West.
Rick West.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that might be something that maybe we call Patterson if we need to, if Rick can't do it, or see exactly what we need to do. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
It's just one of those, well, we know there's a leak, there's a crack. Like, we've patched it before. But,
It's been a few years.
yeah, it's at least
Yeah.
3. Just don't know the extent of what the repair would be.
Okay. And then at the end of the season, I assume we will just do a kind of like a big meeting at some point to determine what we want to do next year.
Yeah, I think that's part of this, from
Okay.
my understanding.
Perfect.
Crack is whack.
And then, okay, so that's all we have for that, and then let's move to, do you guys wanna float through, and then we'll do old business, new business? Let's float through the legislation so we can be ready for that.
Sounds good.
I know there's not a ton of stuff
Yeah.
new, but there is some new stuff. And we'll see how much of it I mess up. Okay, do you wanna do it or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds familiar. I'm gonna go in real quick just for my own. Thank you, you're a beautiful soul. Alright. So 224, for ordinance 20-2024, this would be certain expenditures. And if I recall right, that was somewhat of a, I guess, the omnibus number of things for a second reading. 21 of 2024, approving the fund for the payment of compensated absences.
Yeah, that's basically the, putting together a fund that as employees retire and cash out different things, we're not just
Yeah, I remember.
caught with X amount of dollars, trying to figure out how to do that. And we do have an officer, hopefully not for another 10 years, but, you know, is eligible. We actually have a couple that are eligible to retire, now and even in the next year or so. So
Okay.
we just want to make sure
Yeah,
that
sure.
when the
Yeah.
time comes that we're not just coming to you guys for a huge amount of money. So starting to set some money aside for that over the next few years.
Okay.
I don't think that they're aware that they're not allowed to quit, so they're not allowed to retire.
And
Tragic how that happens.
we're required to pay these out? Is that what it is?
So you and this is why we have a finance team, but yes, we pay out vacation. What all do we, Jesse, do you know, when they retire, we only pay out,
It's a percentage.
It's a percentage of vacation, sick, comp time, and then a certain percentage, I think, of their, like the last, all of that also includes all of the retirement pay that come out of that.
Is it in the handbook?
well, we're updating the handbook right now, so it's all gonna really be in there here before long. And that was that was the reason for this, because it came to our attention that there should be some extra things that we're making sure we dot our i's and cross our t's. So as we went through the handbook, page by page with the HR guy, that we hired, the Clemson and Nelson, I think I said that right. This was a document that came out from that. So that's why we are doing this. But yes, and it is only a percentage, and so this was like a random thing that I didn't know, and you guys might not even be thinking this, but sometimes when officers come here, they can roll over from like an old agency to this agency, like sick time or this or that. We do not cash that out. So it's only cashed out what they earn from here.
And that's only if they're retiring from us.
Correct.
So if they move to a different
They can roll
police
over.
department,
Same thing, they can roll over.
They roll over.
so we don't allow them to roll it into us, but
We allow them to roll over X amount. They can roll over up to, I think it's 200 hours of sick, but not vacation. They have to cash out their vacation. at wherever they're at. So before they come here or whatever, but they can cash out their vacation, but they cannot, we will not pay out. Like if somebody's been at a different agency for 25 years and they have all this sick time, we'll let them roll over X amount, but if they were here for like a month and then they decide to retire or whatever,
Probationary period.
we wouldn't, regardless, we would not cash that out.
And do those funds get sent over to us from that agency?
No. No.
And
it's
when they
normal.
leave and go to another agency,
It
they
gets
can
rolled
roll it
over to them.
But we don't send them that money.
No. They can
That's
just
just-
roll over what that agency's
It's
willing
like
to
they,
accept.
then other agency was like, ah, man, we gotta get this guy with all this experience. We'll go ahead and bite the bullet, just like you could probably negotiate if you went to another.
And same thing, they use theirs that was here first before they will ever tap into that. So it's not like they can just keep using all of that and storing all of this and being able to cash all of this out. So they still use what they earn here first.
So if they leave us, they go to another agency, and then they retire, are we still paying into that? Do we
Our
pay
portion of
the
it, yeah.
police officer, or they only get
Once
that
they
if
leave
they're
here, they're
working?
done with
Yes,
us.
Okay.
correct.
Once
That's
they leave
correct.
here,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
Okay,
correct. Yeah, that's over.
so it's not like they can tap into it, so we're creating a fund just in case, and we know we potentially have some people.
Yes, we definitely do.
That will be retiring from us.
I think the
Yes.
idea.
And that have been here for a long time.
It's like to move some of those funds from the general fund where they normally get paid, just to a simple accounting place, so you go, hey, this is the intent for this money, just in case this thing happens.
I like that.
Instead of having it sit on the general fund, you're like, this is potential rainy day if Bob
And
decides
those
to
are,
leave.
because of us classifying like that, we can roll it over from year to year as a account that
As
has
an
funds
asset,
in it.
yeah. Instead of thinking it's in the slush fund, we go, oh, we'll just pull it from there whenever the time is good.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I see ordinance 23-2024, seems to have, moving some pool money around.
And that is the first one is strictly for, assuming you guys still want to move forward with it, it's to get Ben's, the funds for Ben to move forward on the grant writing for the pool. It is not for the pool, it is for the pool buildings. We're hoping that eventually we might be able to get some sewer work in there or something like that. This is up to $1 million, but it's a grant that he would be working on trying to get us for the pool. Again, it will not fix the pool. It will only be for the buildings and other things associated with that, but I can't remember exactly what it's called, but that's what it sounds like, is it's for that. But this is $15,000 to try to get us, some funds to get started on the pool.
Sounds good.
Which one is that? It's 22.
That's the pool improvement funds. It's just moving it from, other expenditures to capital outlay. We already have the money in the pool fund, we're just moving it.
Gotcha.
And then,
But there was a second thing in there too, wasn't
The TIF tax equivalent fund.
so yes, that's what, I was hoping that somebody else knew. You guys have the little thing that has like a little tab on it?
there? It
The
says,
property tax collections, I'm assuming that has, oh no, it isn't. It does have to do with the TIF. Something about it was short, like the amount of money that,
Was that discovered in that TIF meeting, or no?
No. He told me what it was and now I can't remember. I believe it was just the shortage of, there wasn't much left in there.
And then I see we have resolution 24-20, I believe that's what you were talking about. the
There's no,
Transfer of just like $99.
Jesse, do you remember what it was?
I mean, it's hard to approve something when you don't know what it's for.
I'm getting it. He told me.
Call Jeff,
Sure am.
Where is Jeff?
put him on speaker.
He's gonna say, hello?
No.
If not, we'll check it out later.
I mean, is this
He's
how we
probably
had to
busy.
pay bills or something?
Yeah, it was left over from the EMS of last year, and then it was like 50-some cents left over from something else.
Yeah,
That was my understanding.
So
Okay.
it's a total of 99 something.
Give him 3 minutes. Let's skip that, but like I said, he told me it has to do with, whatever, yeah, we're short paying the TIF thing. But I can't remember why. So that's what I'm gonna get an answer for.
And then I see some code changes up in resolution 2024-25.
Yeah, that was, I can speak to that. Our zoning code rewrite was set to be not to exceed 35,000. May not shock you, in light of recent events, that there have been some
I know you said it, but I
circumstances
don't
that led
remember.
to over billing on that one, so it just sort of, it ups the not to exceed
hang on, I'm gonna put you on speakerphone and I'm gonna let you say it, just so I know that they all can hear it from you. Okay, everybody be quiet for 1 second, I don't mean it that way, in a nice way. I'm gonna let him say it. Go ahead.
The decrease in appropriations in the TIF fund is due to the deductions from the county on the property tax settlement sheet. That is for auditor treasurer fees and county levies that were not exempted in the TIF.
As you can see, that's why I didn't repeat what he told me, because, do you have that in English?
Deductions by the county that we have no choice.
So Jeff, when I look at, sorry, this is Tommy, I apologize.
That's right.
When I look at the county auditor site and I do see, you know, like how the deductions look, it looks everything looks very accumulative, very big. So is that a part of the payments that have to go back to those other people instead of into the TIF fund?
That'd be a good way of putting it, yes.
Okay, I can explain that when I can pull it up, and it'll make a little bit more sense.
Like the school district, it was exempt from the TIF. There were certain levies at the county level that were exempted too.
Okay. And that money has to go to them as well, because obviously we have to make sure they get paid?
Correct, and it's automatically deducted from the property tax settlement sheet. I have no control over it.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're good on everything else.
All right.
Okay, bye. Until I call you back. No, I'm just kidding. Is everybody good on that?
So that was resolution 2024.
And now you know why I said he explained it to me, and that was that.
Okay, how should I phrase that? That's, he went.
Pass the mic to
All right.
Tommy. Is that okay?
Whatever you want.
Alright, yeah. I'll be honest, the finance stuff is probably the thing I understand the least.
Same.
Then if I run for office,
In life.
for, 25 years, I'll get this recording and think, but.
I mean, I think in layman's terms, the TIF doesn't exempt everything, and this squares the balance sheet back to the entities that need to be made whole.
When you look on the Franklin County Auditor site, it only shows like 2 payments made, one to the TIF fund and one to the school fund. It doesn't really show the breakdown of sending it to the children's services,
Right.
alcohol, drug, and mental health. It says 0, 0, 0, 0. And then I think what's happening is that gets reconciled on the backside where, those people say, hey, you owe us this money because you collected this in lieu of paying the taxes, and now we pay up.
We need to be made whole. We don't just forego all those payments forever.
Just because you have a TIF.
Okay.
The tax write-off people. Just kidding.
Just write it off.
I'll probably
I still don't get
let
that joke.
councilperson Graham
I'm like,
explain
that's
that.
not-
Everything else I've got.
My husband gets mad.
Okay. Did we go through all of them?
Yeah.
So, can I just ask a question? I want to get back to the one for 2024-25. So we're upping it to a cap of 50. Are we done now with this? Is this gonna finish it out?
I think we upped it to 45.
This
Unless,
is-
okay, when I
it
talked to
says
Jeff, I said,
50.
yeah,
50, okay.
But
that
it
will
looks
be
like
done.
we only owe 3,575.
That's, Jeff did it to 50. We're gonna be done billing to the zoning matter on it. So it will basically be you'll pay 3,000 out and be done.
Okay, I see it.
I may, in a month, come back and provide you some accounting and ask for a small amount more for ongoing phantom-related work, but it will be nothing more than $5,000.
Okay.
So, nothing more than that. And then we will be done on the zoning. There will be nothing else built to it. This is the end of it.
Okay.
Cool.
I love that.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
I believe that's the legislature this evening.
Okay. Does anybody want, so we have 30 minutes.
27. Sorry.
Tommy. Does anybody have anything pressing? Barb, is there anything to start with? What?
Exciting news tomorrow morning.
What's that?
It is Friday.
I don't even know what week we're in. You will have to remind me. What are we doing?
Maintenance garage bids are getting advertised.
That's, I told you I had something else. Yes, maintenance garage bids are going out tomorrow.
Bid opening on that is September 20th.
Yes. Here at probably noon. I totally forgot about that. I knew there was something. Okay,
Did
was
you
there, what else have we done this week? I'm asking Bart.
Did you
because I
say
don't
the
remember.
chief is coming? Oh, there it is, good. Good, because I know we talked about this in a council meeting once before, about the buses just passing cars that are, waiting for their children to get picked up. And I happen to have a video of the bus passing me. So,
These
just going right past all those lines of cars, pulling into the school, so.
Are the cars
Still
pulled?
work session.
Oh, no,
We're still in the work
we have 30
session.
minutes still.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. Oh, no,
yeah.
no, we can talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
So remember back in the spring, I mentioned about buses that were going past the line of carpools going into the school? So I was in that line this week and videotaped the bus doing that exact same thing right past me. Where they were going into that other entrance of the school.
Was there an officer up there?
No, there was not.
Trying to get an officer up there in the afternoons.
There were actually a lot of cars that did that.
Did it look like the other
That pulled
cars?
into the school through that other
The exit,
driveway.
the exit.
Yeah.
Can you say it's a
There's
new
probably,
year?
there's probably 4 or 5, and the bus, huh?
So can you say it's a new year? We're gonna have to
It is a new
reteach
year.
everybody,
It is
reteach
a new year, and I
everybody.
how to
understand a lot
drive.
of these people don't understand that. Are we trying to, have we communicated, or are we trying to get people to come down,
Green line,
yes, Green Line again? Okay, instead of down Farview?
trying to just get them to go line up there. That's where we prefer them to load. We've, the school put out a message.
Okay.
At least I just assumed that Tyson did that. He said he was gonna.
Yeah, because they were lined up at all 3 places right there. When I was sitting
So
there.
the officers, when they're up there, they don't let anybody turn left into the school.
Okay,
They just set them down straight past and, or make them turn around and green line.
okay, good.
So they're like,
Yeah, and there wasn't an officer there, you're right. I think the other thing that I've noticed is, because I'll purposely, you've seen me drive by the exit to the school in the morning sometimes, but they are definitely not stopping at that stop sign there at Farview and Yellowfinch. They're just rolling through that stop sign,
yeah.
pretty bad. So, and there's usually a car sitting right there. I think it's Aiden's parents, what are they, Conways? No, what is it?
Conroy?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, usually there's a car sitting right there, so then they have to go all the way around that car as they're running that stop sign.
Yeah. 4 seconds.
4 seconds, what?
They can't give up the 4 seconds.
Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't know what you meant by 4 seconds.
4 seconds are important.
It's more important than everyone's life.
Of course.
Yeah.
They're there
Yeah,
for 4 seconds.
it's just sad that, and I get it, new crop and new, but,
That doesn't mean you should unlearn everything you know about driving, though.
no, I know.
It's terrible sometimes. I mean, I've seen it in River Lake Road, and I talked to Officer Corley one day, because I know it was when school was out, but like I'm just driving, but behind a car, and you see another car just swing through, and didn't see Officer Corley sitting there, and then all of a sudden he could whoop, and I was like, I thought that guy just went through that stop sign, but I'm not paying attention to that, because I'm focused on my driving, and it's like, I don't understand when people got the memo that stop signs were kind of
Optional?
Yeah,
they turned them into yield signs.
and it just seems worse.
And the strange thing is you pull them over and they will swear up and down. I can show you body video of them saying, I stopped at that stop sign.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, wait here.
Yeah.
I go back and while I'm writing the ticket, I record the video on my phone, and I go up and I go, show me the part where you stopped.
Love that.
Yeah, I do it to myself, and I don't record myself, and I go, did I stop there? Like, I hope I did, but if not, you know what? Sign me up for the ticket. You know what? Sometimes I need to pay attention more.
I had one of the residents call me, he was a little confused. I don't know what the message was, I didn't watch the whole video of the interaction, but he was like, I stopped. He goes, but apparently I didn't stop at the stop bar,
What?
and the officer gave me a ticket. And I'm like, okay. We had an officer that was, because technically that's what, by the letter of the law, you have to stop at the stop bar, move forward, make sure it's clear, and then, but we don't want to how do you win that?
Right.
You know, no, he was so on the stop bar, he was on top of the stop bar, you know, so. But anyway, he said that, but I go back and I watch the video and he just goes right through the stop sign. So I'm like, sir, you didn't stop at all, that's why you got a ticket.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, and he came and paid it, you know, I mean, but he was just like, he's like, I stopped, I don't understand why I got this ticket.
Do people not think that everything law enforcement does is recorded nowadays? I mean, it's not, 2010,
It's
we're
that, I think
decade
people
ago.
actually believe
I agree with you, yeah.
that they stop.
I
Yeah.
mean, people are
Like, they
literally,
slow down, they look, and they just, I mean, they're not stopping.
I mean,
And we're pretty lenient, like, if you slow down to like walking speed, like, you're down to like 1 mile per hour, the wheels haven't stopped rolling, but okay, you know, there's no other traffic, nothing was affected, we're not giving tickets out for those.
bigger things in the world to worry about, but at least.
But if they come up and they just like, just
Maybe we
break through, it's like, okay, yeah,
I get it. I mean, in my profession, I deal with people that have accidents all the time, and I always try to tell them, to give them some grace, like, hey, people make mistakes, like we all, I'm sure I'll run a stop sign, it's like, but sometimes you just gotta pay the cost and it stinks, but hopefully, nobody gets hurt in the process.
I mean, do you think it would, I'm just asking the question, should we put a no left turn sign or no right turn during certain hours at that intersection?
we thought about it, because in the morning, it's not a problem.
Right, yeah,
Because
people
the
aren't
drop-off-
waiting, yeah.
The drop off, they trickle in.
yeah.
It's in the afternoon time when everybody shows up at once, because everybody's getting out at once.
Right.
So, and then if you have the no left turn in the afternoon, but in the morning it's okay, I think it just becomes confusing. Because we talked about it,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, and then it's like, you can't turn left, you can't turn right, it's like, I don't know what to do here. So we're trying to just get
I know
rid of
that
it.
for me, if I was coming home during those hours and I saw that, I'd be like, oh yeah, I better just go straight here and go down Green Line and come through instead of trying to try to turn there and get stuck in that traffic, but
But you're a sane, reasonable person,
true,
not like some
right,
crazed parent who
Yeah.
has to get their kid to piano practice after school.
okay. What about, remind me, do we have, I keep seeing a lot of recreational vehicles parked outside. What's our code on that? Boats, RVs, things like that?
You can't, we didn't change
They
it.
have a certain amount of.
3 days?
Time.
72 hours.
72 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't it also that you can't block the sidewalk? If I
This
remember, memory
is a
serves.
street, public street, right? Not-
Yeah, you park on the street for maintenance, for cleaning, you know, it's like if you're getting ready to go on a trip, you need to be able to like load it up, pack it, do things, so, and then when you come home, you gotta unload it and then clean it out, so
Okay.
the code says you have 72 hours, you can park it there, and, if they go 4 days, you know, at least. Usually it's
There's
usually
a,
when people just park there and leave it there.
there's a boat I'm thinking about in particular.
I can't even find plates on it.
Oh, I know
They
whose
said
it
it
is.
belongs,
I know whose it is.
they said it belongs to the MMA fighter there in the court,
Yeah,
but he moves it. So, but, yeah, and it's like, it starts the clock over, and we're just like, dang, he's like gaming the system.
I have friends that do that.
yeah.
They live in Delaware, that's what they do. They have a boat, they move it every 3 days.
Yeah. Okay.
I love this.
Yeah, he just takes out, drives around the neighborhood, is back, but not in the same spot.
Yeah, it's been in the basic same spot for a good week now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't control that aspect of it, through zoning, although
This is why we can't have these
I thought we
things.
we
did
could do
have,
some creative signage, perhaps concerning it. We'd have to look into it.
I thought we did have a zone.
The zoning is separate, zoning is on private property.
Oh,
So
when
it's
it's on the
dictating this is
street.
a right of way and
Okay.
ORC, and we could probably look into how we would, I just don't know how to handle that specifically. I know, but
It was the same thing with the trailer on Maplewood,
Yeah.
where we had the trailer, the front loader on, that was taking up like a quarter mile
Right,
of of Maplewood, and of course, you know, I mean, it was his business, so he'd go out and get in it, he'd take it, go do whatever he was doing, and then he would come back in the evening and put it back. You know, and the neighbors would complain, like, well, park your cars there, you won't be able to park it.
Right.
You know, but they weren't gonna do that, so.
Okay.
All right, do we have anything else? Jason, you're leading the pack here today.
Hey, at least
Talking
we
about
still
what
have
I'm seeing.
questions. Yeah.
I'll go through my emails, hopefully. I'm sure I have plenty.
No, good?
Nothing else is coming to mind.
I got nothing. I didn't even know about the water line break, like, nobody told me.
She called in. Tuesday.
I'm thinking Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday.
Tuesday, and she just wanted me to call her, so I called her.
So this is,
That's the breakdown of it.
this is how this person's tax distribution.
But then I
works.
forwarded it all to Mike.
Where
so.
some
Oh,
sort of general
okay.
fund, children's
Right.
services, alcohol.
Yeah,
And
I
so
mean,
this is
if anybody, if you guys are good in work session, you can go ahead and.
Basically, this is .05
Make a motion
to
to
this.
adjourn.
So I
Second.
think this goes to the school.
Moving second.
All those in favor?
Aye.